Get Andrew Duncan with the Duncan Duo team at LPT Realty at the Duncan Duo, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We had Justin Caballero with Revive Design and Renovation on with Melissa Rodriguez from Citywide Home Mortgage, and I'm Andrew Duncan with the Duncan Duo team. But Melissa, in our meeting with our agents this week, which are a great resource for that, if you're a real estate agent out there looking for a really good lender, hit up Melissa, citywidetampa.com. You've probably seen her. You've probably seen her in the market. She's been around for a while. But she does a great job really helping our agents understand kind of the nuances and the pros and cons of different things. And speaking of that, you mentioned the idea that a lot of buyers have that they should wait to buy.
Right.
Because rates may come down more. So talk about that a little bit.
So we get that a lot, Andrew, and it's how long are you going to wait? Are you waiting until it comes down a quarter, 50 basis points, a whole point? If it does come down a point for the same price, you're saving about $200 a month. But let's just say you wait. So let's say the house that you love, it's $500,000. You're at 6.35 interest rate. The monthly payment. So let's just look at P&I right now, not taxes, insurance. So just principal and interest. It's about $2,400 a month. For if you wait until the rates go down, let's say 5.5. So from 6.35 to 5.5, that value, we all know that once rates come down, the values go up. So the value can go up, let's say another 5%. So $525 for that same house, the payment is only $100 less. So $2,300. So, but you're paying $25,000 more, for just saving $100 a month, which buy the house now at a lower value and then refinance later when the rates go down.
That's a perfect summary. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I think truly that people can find a way to afford the $100 or $200 that they're talking about.
Right. And you know what? I just want the best for the client. So like I was mentioning in the meeting as well, let's talk different scenarios. Let's talk, hey, if I put down 10%, I have this amount of money. A lot of people are like, I have $50,000 for a down payment. But maybe it doesn't make sense to put all $50,000 down for a down payment. What if we pay off? I had a client who paid off a camper. His monthly payment was $534 a month. That saved him, paying that off, saved him more money a month than putting down, that entire amount for the down payment. So let's run different scenarios. Let's pick the best option for you.
Again, great summary. And I think, again, it goes back to what is in a, customer's best interest. Waiting isn't always better. And I think a lot of people try and time the market. It's interesting through the years that I've done this, having done it for 20 years, over $3 billion in sales on my team. And there's no chance I could time the market. Like I can look at the data and I can get close, but there's a lot of people out there trying to time it perfect. And they think they're going to get right at the bottom trough at the quarter of a point. All it takes is a Truth Social post from the president, and then everything goes haywire, right? Like the idea that you think that you can time everything perfectly in the economy is a myth, going back to the 100 or 200. And I help lots of friends, financially. I don't mean I give them money. I help give them financial advice, help them with budgeting, because I think that's something I established really early in my career that's been beneficial for me as I've built wealth in my business and life. And so far too often people aren't really paying attention to what they're spending money on.
Right.
Like they could cut out a few trips a week to Starbucks. They could cut out the Chick-fil-A for a couple of days.
The subscriptions that we were talking about.
There's, they're paying Netflix, they're paying this, and they haven't logged on to Disney Plus in a month. And, so there's so many things like that to where you could effectively save money. That's where things come in. And those things are not, your Netflix subscription isn't growing in value. It's not contributing to any financial benefit of yourself, unless you're a Netflix stock owner, and that's maybe different. But like the difference of paying towards your house is that over time, and certainly not every year, not every period of time, but over long periods of time, real estate values go up. So the money that you're paying, in addition to paying down the principal, the asset is going to, over the long term. So over, if you look at any 7-year period in history, owning real estate appreciates and it builds wealth for people. So of course, over 2 or 3 year period, sometimes it may not, but then it corrects and catches back over that 4-year period. So there are times where I'll hear people say, well, I lost money on my last house, but the truth is that if you look at it in 7-year increments, the house that you bought next probably went up a lot in that 4-year period, So if you're buying real estate for the long term, you're going to win, and it's going to do well for you.
Well, and also what I've run into is buying when the values are low, because you're building equity instantly. When we go back to the COVID days, when the values were, I saw people
paying way over $40,000,
$50,000 over list price, and now they're stuck in in a situation where they don't have
because
equity
they
or
overpaid.
not as much. Right.
Yeah. And you make a good point. I analyze the stats every month. I just looked at them a couple of weeks ago. And, so the September stats come out about mid-October. So our October stats won't be out for another week or so. But the September stats showed that our average sale price was the lowest it's been in a long time. We dipped below 450 in our market. And we have year over year and month over month a depreciation in addition to inflation, right? So we've got, we do have, lower prices, lower buying power. And again, could it spend a few more months depreciating? Maybe, but a lot of economic indicators and things going on in our state, an election in New York City. There's a lot of things that are going to improve our market and drive those prices back in a positive direction. Property tax relief is going to be on the ballot in 26. Wouldn't be effective until 27, but there's going to be, whether it's abolishment or whether it's massive relief, but combined with parts of the country that are becoming really polarizing politically and are going to move people here, I believe we're on the verge, and some rate cuts.
Right.
I believe we're on the verge of a boom, of a like a 27-ish. 20, maybe at some point 26 and 27, we see this boom again. That's, maybe not quite at the level of COVID because we're not going to see rates drop as much. But if we see massive property tax relief, those payments could be comparable to where we were at with those really low historic interest rates. And that's what people buy. They buy payment.
Well, also, you make a great point as well. And what I wanted to bring up is the homes have been on the market for longer, and so now the sellers are willing to negotiate. So if you really want to, we can even look at buying down the rate, and using some of those seller credits to buy down the rate. And that way, just get into the home now at a lower value. That's the best route to go.
And speaking of the rate buy down, we are offering a free 1.0 interest rate buy down with Citywide Home Mortgage on listings of ours that are priced between 200. I keep saying 300. Yeah. It's 200,000 and 800,000. Single family townhomes only. Can't do it on condos, but we're doing a free 1.0 buy down on our own listing. So a little extra ammo if you're thinking about hiring our team to sell your home is that we're going to partner with lender. We're going to give you that free 1.0 buy down as long as you work with our lender to do the mortgage on the listing of ours. So I think we're offering that's a lot like what a lot of the builders do. It's a way to kind of bridge the gap and help make it more financially feasible. But you mentioned the closing costs, and this is actually kind of interesting.
Hey.
Melissa, what do you think? What percentage off of the listing price is the average home selling for in our market today? So back during COVID, it was 101%. What do you think? Where would you guess the average is at today?
For the closing costs?
No, not closing costs, for the negotiation off the asking price. So what percentage, and again, it could be different with what you're seeing, but I imagine you're probably seeing that in your business. You're seeing that percentage. What would you guess that it is? Just throw out a number. What do you guess it is?
Goodness.
I'm going to bet money you're going to be right.
No.
Yeah, throw it out there. Throw it out there.
2%.
It's close. It's 4%.
Oh, I was going to go with 5.
But here's the reality. It actually ends up being more because Stellar, our MLS partner, only shows the list to sell price ratio. It doesn't show how much sellers are paying in concessions, and they're paying concessions.
Yeah.
So in addition to the 4% off of asking, you're getting a lot of times 2, 3, 4 points on concessions. Whereas were you seeing that in COVID? Were people getting concessions during COVID?
Oh my gosh,
no.
They were paying more.
Right. So it's literally like, in addition to seeing the lower price, it's also about a 6 to 7% swing in favor of the buyer. So in addition to you seeing those asking prices back during 4 years ago, those COVID prices were the price. Mm-hmm. The price is the price is the price. Like, it's listed for 500, you're paying that and more, right? Today it's listed at 500. You might be able to get it for 460, 470, 480, and get your closing cost covers and buy downs. So the reason Melissa only said 2 is because she does a lot of our team, and we're just better negotiators for our clients. So we're getting better closing costs for our clients. So she's seeing a lot of 2% because our buyer agents do a better job. But it is that's kind of where the stats line up. And I think it's important that the customer knows that because, back 5 years ago, even though real estate agents by law are not supposed to do this, they're supposed to present any and all offers.
Right.
There were times where real estate agents were deterring their client from making an offer. Oh, no, you don't want to make that offer. We don't want to make that offer. Like, we can't make that offer. It's too low. Today, make the offer.
Yes.
You'd be surprised. And especially this time of year. I just put 2 homes that I'm buying for renovation, projects. They're not ones Revival work on because they're a little, they're those, there's small home renovations. But I just bought 2 really good deals. This time of year, you find really good deals. If you're an investor or you're a buyer looking to buy, people this time of year get motivated. They're motivated to close by the end of the year, to get the home sold by the end of the year. Maybe it's been on the market for a long time and hasn't moved. That was both of the homes that I bought. They've been on the market with bad real estate agents. that couldn't get them sold, that marketed them and priced them poorly. And then the sellers get to the point of, you know what, I'm just ready to go. Give me my money and let me get out of here because I don't want to waste any more time. I've lost so much time getting to where I want to get. So as a buyer, this is an incredible time of year to get a great deal. And I think next year the market swings in the other direction, especially, we're going to talk about the Fed